Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of BS Drunk Movie Reviews. This is a weekly podcast, and we do upload the video version of this to our YouTube channel, so you can check us out there. My name is Matt, and as always, I'm being joined by my sister, Vetta.
Hey, my dudes.
Hey. On this episode, we are going to be coming up with a theme of this month, and that is makeover movies. So we are going to be talking about probably one of the most famous makeover movies, Pretty Woman. Before we get started on this, Vetta, obviously you had seen this movie before. Have you always liked it?
Always.
Yes, of course, of course. Now let's get to the most important question of the night, and that is, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking a Pretty Woman.
Yes, you are. What is it? What is in it?
It's got vodka, grenadine, like honey syrup, lemon juice, and a grapefruit juice, which I didn't buy grapefruit juice. I just took a grapefruit and squeezed juice in it because it was supposed to have mint, but I don't like mint. So
I don't like mint either. Yeah. I'm not down with that. Well, I'm just drinking some champagne, just because I was lazy and I was just like, well, it's here and I don't feel like making a special drink.
He orders champagne and strawberries right away.
Right, so. That's true. That's true. See, so I'm keeping with the themes. Yay.
You're not being lazy. You're right on. Connected.
Okay. So let's get started on this movie, okay? So right off the bat, I just have to say right now, Richard Gere's character, not a fan. I mean, he's kind of, I know he's supposed to be like a dick or whatever, but he's just he's kind of a dick, you know. But I do like that he was like, he like at least was like nice with his ex, you know, at the very beginning there, because she like got engaged. And he was all happy for her and stuff. And I was like, oh, well, that's kind of nice, I guess. Although George Costanza is definitely more of a dick than him.
He's a giant asshole in this movie.
Yeah, I do like how
he's a predator.
Oh my gosh, yes. Okay, so let's just jump over to Julia Roberts and her situation. So first off, I just want to say Julia Roberts in this movie, hottie patati, hello.
Can we just talk about how her roommate Kit seems like a legit prostitute and she just seems like she's acting and Julia Roberts just seems like she's acting like a prostitute.
That's so funny because now that you say that makes so much sense and everything. I just love, and I love how Kit like always steals their money and stuff, and I'm just like, why are you friends with her still? She steals your money that you hide in the toilet, which I'm all like, which I have to ask you a question. If you are with a roommate and you have to hide your money, A, and B, your roommate always steals your money so you can't pay rent, don't you think that they're not really a good friend and you should bail?
First of all, I wouldn't tell them where I hid it. I mean, I got nothing against sex workers. You get your money however you do it. And if that's what you're good at, or that's the only option you have, get it, girl. Do your work.
I'm in the same boat.
I go, if you're a sex worker because you are a drug addict, which from what I understand seems to be a good portion of them, and your roommate's not a sex worker due to being a drug addict, she's in charge of everything. She shouldn't tell you anything.
Right.
All the bills should be in her name. Right. She shouldn't tell you where the money is. And I just want to say, you know, they have these things called bank accounts.
Right.
Because Julia Roberts' character just seems to have it together for being a sex worker. And there are sex workers that do have it together that are doing it because that's what they want to do.
Right.
I'm just kind of like, because the biggest thing is when Kit's the bar and she's eating the garnishes. And the guy's like, this isn't a buffet. And I'm like, no, but she just spent all their money on Coke or something. So for her, that is.
Yeah, and maraschino cherries and olives, a diet that is not. Okay, that is not a good healthy eating plan.
Delicious, also, but not healthy.
Yes, delicious. Can I also, speaking of banking, I love how she hid her money in a soap box, a plastic soap box in the top of the toilet and everything. And I'm all like, what? It wouldn't get. I don't think that's waterproof. Those soap boxes.
Well, that's like people that hide it in the freezer too. That like put it in a lean cuisine box in the freezer again, or cookie jars. I'm like, yes, if I'm a robber, not go into that much effort, but still, I go. Wouldn't have Kit just stumbled upon it, even if you hadn't have told her? Because
right. Okay.
Yeah.
Also, at the beginning when she's like walking the strip or whatever, I love that there's like a murder or whatever, and then those tourists, and what do they say? Like, no, where from? He's like, this isn't Disneyland. She's like, we're from Ohio. I can't remember what she says, but I'm all like, that's so funny because that's what I would be like. I'd be like, oh my God. I'd be like, so I
I
was
would
like,
have my phone out video and going, this
yeah.
happened where I'm from.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, sister. So okay, so I do like how like I love how these movies they always like I don't know if it's like a thing that they do all the time because this is 1990, so this is like right on the cusp of 90s 80s, but I love when people are dancing in these movies and they're always like it's always like I don't think that's how people like this that one woman's painting at the beginning, but she's like dancing and everything while she's painting. I'm like I was like I don't know what's going on here, this is just ridiculous, but yeah, I just thought it was stuff like that's always weird. Okay. Can we talk about when they fight with the other hooker
Oh,
on the strip? Yeah.
she's in their turf, in their
Yeah.
spot.
Yeah, and I love that whole scene because first off, I'm all like, well, that hooker's not very attractive. I was like, and then I love how what I can't remember what stars they had between, but I was just like, that's so funny. Like, yo, bitch, how did you not know that you and then what did she tell her to go down to? Shit, I can't remember
Esther
now.
Rogers or something like that, because Esther
Yeah.
Rogers is where you belong, which I don't know if that's a legit name, but for some reason that's coming to my mind and I don't know. It's
Yeah.
something Rogers. I know that much.
Yeah. Okay, so now
I did love that because she's like, because Esther Rogers, where you belong. And I was like,
yes.
what's wrong with that part of the strip? And I mean, the stars do go forever. I will
Yeah,
tell
they
you that.
do. Yeah,
They
they do.
go forever. And
Yeah.
there are parts, like when we went to California and walked the stars, Donald Trump's had been
Oh,
vandalized and
right.
they were talking about how much like there was a security guy by it because they've had to replace it so much because people don't like him. In case you're
Mm,
unsure or you haven't heard, people don't like him, so his star gets vandalized so much that it needs a security person.
gotcha. Right on. That's funny. Okay, so he picks her up, all right, and I love how kids are like
That's
work
he
it
can't drive a
a stick.
manual
Yeah, yeah,
transmission
yeah.
car.
Yeah, I thought it was a stick shift. He can't drive a stick shift.
Or that's what I mean. He can
Okay.
only drive a manual. There's alcohol involved. Damn it. Give
Sorry,
me a break.
sorry. Yeah, yeah. Blame it on the app. Anyways, okay. So he's stopping because he's trying to figure stuff out. But she gets up next to him, right? And I love how kids like work it. And I'm like, yeah, work it. I was like, you're hot and everything with your gross blonde wig. I didn't like that blonde wig at all.
I didn't either. It was off of Amazon before there was a thing as
Right on,
Amazon. You
for
could tell.
sure.
She paid like $9.99 for it with Prime shipping.
Right on. Yeah, yeah. So then I love how he basically pays her to take him back to the hotel kind of thing. But I do like that she ended up driving him back because she couldn't drive a stick shift.
Yeah, because he couldn't. And I'm like, well, because he says at one point his first driver or his first car was a limousine.
Right on.
So
So
what did you think when they got to the hotel? Because this has one of my favorite like interactions.
when he's about to send her on his way, or
No,
when
no,
they go
no.
up to the thing,
Yeah,
which
once they go in, when he says, well, two, when she's at the bus stop, because I love this movie because there are so many quotes that you're just like, you hear it and you know exactly what movie it comes from. But he says to her when she's sitting on the bench waiting for the bus, like, I don't remember how he approaches her. He says something like, you and I are similar, Vivian. This is the only part of the quote I remember is he's like, we both screw people out of their money. And I was like, I'm like, that's funny.
that is funny. I I also love when they're gonna get on the elevator And the one couple sitting there, and she's like, oh, and she puts her leg up on the thing. She's like, oh, honey, I have a hole in my
A
pantyhose.
runner. She
A runner,
calls it a
yeah, a
runner.
runner in my pantyhose. She's like, I'm not wearing any
The
pantyhose.
old guy's just staring at her leg, and the wife is just appalled. Like, how dare you bring her into this elevator with me?
Right, yeah.
And the husband's like, shit, I wish I had brought her instead of her.
Right on, yeah. I did. It was funny. And then I can't remember what he says to her when they get on the elevator. He's like, try to be cool or whatever. And she's like, I can't be cool or whatever. And he's like, try or something. I can't remember what does he say? Yeah, because I love how she gets on the elevator and like she puts her leg up on the sofa. And then he's all like, first time on an elevator. I'm like, oh no, it's not. You stop that. Everybody's been on an elevator.
Well, how many elevators have you been on that have a sofa in it?
I mean, not that many. Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
Part, I'm like, I would have been sitting on it going, there's a place to sit. What floor are we going to? Should I sit?
Right on.
You're going to be here a while.
Right. Now I have to talk about the penthouse. The penthouse was gorgeous. I was like, gorge, love. I love everything about this room. How much do you think that room cost?
$4,000 a day.
Oh my gosh. That's so much money. Like, who's got that kind of money? Anyways, okay.
People who buy and sell companies.
Yeah, I guess so. And I love how he sits down. He's just doing his work and everything. And I love how he's not ready to like get down to business or whatever. He wants to like chill and everything. And then okay, so I want to talk about, can we talk about the condom situation?
No, can we first talk about how she is like, you could pay me. That would break the ice.
Oh, yeah. That's funny.
I'm like, yeah, getting your money is always a great way for everybody to relax.
Right. That is true. Okay. So the condom situation. Okay. So now I don't know about you. When I saw this movie for the first time, I was very young. I think I was still in elementary school, right?
Oh, her plethora of variety.
Yes. And I love how she's like,
I did not know you were younger than me. And so in 90, and this is going to show my naivety, I was like middle school, like ready to go to high school almost.
Yeah.
And I was just like, holy shit. I just thought there was a condom. Like everybody used the same. I didn't know there was a candy store of condoms. Plus, I'm allergic to latex, so that might be another reason why I don't know the plethora.
Well, when I was young, when I was little, I literally thought she was pulling out candy because she's like, I get red, green, yellow, and the one golden, nugget, the one, and nothing's getting past this sucker and everything. I literally thought when I was younger, when I first saw this movie, that it was candy, and then the golden one was like a chocolate coin. I was all like, "Yay, candy!"
So you thought she had Jolly Ranchers, and then the chocolate coin.
Yeah, like hard candies and a chocolate coin. I was all like, "Man!" And I didn't realize she was a prostitute. Also, like I was very like I didn't know she was.
You thought she was just a nice person offering to help him find his hotel.
I mean, no, I didn't know that portion of the program. It's just I don't know what it was, because I think I was like 10 when this came out. I can't remember off the top of my head, but.
I can tell you from my friends and I, and again, we are Midwest kids, so we don't always know everything that those big city kids grow up with.
Right.
But I did not know being a sex worker was what's the right word that I'm looking for? Taboo. I didn't know that it was like a thing because, for when this movie came out, like I remember some of my friends being like, I'm going to be a prostitute so I can marry a rich man. Like, that's the impression that it like left. Like, we didn't realize that being a sex worker was like a taboo and so I just remember that being like when this movie came out, how many people were like, I'm going to be a sex worker.
Right on. That's so funny. I'm going to be a sex worker. Okay. I also really loved the dental floss when she's doing her and she's all like, and he's like dental floss, and she's like, some of the strawberry seeds got him in my teeth, and you shouldn't ignore your gums and everything. And I was like, that's so funny, because I'm like,
and this is where I go back to, she's not a traditional sex worker.
Yeah, right. Yeah, she's
stereotype. I mean, they could honestly be concerned with their gums and their dental work,
right?
But by stereotype, I would say no.
Not the $8 kind. Those, they don't care about their teeth at all. Okay. I
Or the ones
also
that are doing it for meth. Whether you care or not, meth's
right.
not going to let you.
Right. And now I do like how after a minute she was watching um I Love Lucy,
Oh,
right?
and it's the good episode. It's the
Yeah,
candy one. I love
yeah,
that
yeah.
episode.
I liked how he sits down and he gives her the "Hey, come fuck me" look, and I'm like, oh, Daddy's ready now. He's ready for you to get paid. You know,
He
to
read over the 2 contracts he needed to, and now he needs his cock sucked. So
yeah,
let's get on with it, girl.
yeah. And then so I love that she got a pillow and everything. I love that too. Um, and so yeah, so then you know, she did her thing. And then the next morning, she did not have her blonde wig. And he ordered so much food, like so much food.
So much food. Like, I literally feel like he called up and said, just send up one of everything because I don't know what she likes.
Right.
Like,
And then she
which would be
started,
amazing. Like, didn't we do another movie where the people ordered room service and
yeah, was it the
got
wedding
so
one?
much food? Oh,
People I hate
right,
at the
where they went
wedding.
to England. The people you
People
hate
I
at
hate at the wedding.
weddings.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Again, that must just be something that you must like have so much money and be so confident that you just call up and are like, send me one of everything.
Right on.
The only place you can do that, and I think now I feel like a dummy for not trying it, is on a cruise,
Mm.
because you are charged for room service, but it's like $4.95 just for the delivery, and then you pay gratuity, which you would do at a hotel. But you could totally call up on a cruise and be like, send me one of everything.
Right
I
on.
might do
Okay.
that the next time I'm on
You're
a
so
cruise.
silly. Okay. So I also love how she ate a pancake with like no syrup on it. She was just like eating it like whole and everything, which I'm like, that's, I guess it's fine, but you know, I don't like eating with my hands anyways. But
She could have wrapped a sausage in it and at least made it like a pancake taco.
yeah. And so then I would like to skip over to the bathtub scene if you're, unless you want to talk
Oh,
about anything in between there. Okay,
but
so
no, I love the bathtub scene.
well, I do love how she was singing Prince. I sing Prince that I say every time if I ever took a bath, I would just sing that song and I'd be like, yo,
Just
take
for the
a
sake
bath.
of reenacting that.
Yeah, yeah. And I just have to say, the Walkman that she has in that, I had that
Oh,
Walkman.
everybody had that
Oh
Walkman.
my
That was my
gosh.
running Walkman
Yeah,
back
I love
when I didn't, not run, and now I don't. But when I
yeah.
ran,
I
that
miss that.
was
I miss those Walkmans. They were pretty awesome. Kids these days don't know how cool the Walkmans were.
they don't. Well, they also don't understand the pain of having to rewind it when you got to a song you wanted to re-listen
Right.
over and over and having to rewind it. Oh, the
Right on.
sound that it would make.
Right on. Yeah. No, I love how George Costanza like questions him picking up a woman and everything because she's a spy or whatever. But okay. So I love also how he gives her a business deal because she's
They
he beckon
negotiate.
yeah his beck and call girl. I love her. Yeah. So
He could have just said high price escort.
yeah, that's yeah, okay. So I loved when they like bargained and so
Yeah,
what
and
was the sorry, I'm blanking. I'm sorry.
they
What
negotiate, and she says 2,000 and he says, or she says like 4,000 and he says 2,000, and they like settle on like 2,500, and he was like, I would have paid 4, and she's like, I would have done it for 2.
Oh, I thought they settled for 3,000.
It could have been, I don't know the
Okay.
exact number. I just know that he would have went to her original price and she would have went to his original
Yeah,
price, and
sorry. I was
they did
blanking.
full on negotiation and settled in the middle. But the amount she gets makes her so excited that, when he leaves,
She's like,
she
holy
celebrates.
shit. And then she goes underneath the bubbles. And I was like, that's so good. And then she comes up and she's just like, yeah, she's like covered in bubbles. Yeah. So good. Okay. So then, and then he's all like, she's like, baby, I'm gonna treat you so good. You're never gonna want to give me up. And he's like, $3,000, 6 days, and Vivian, I will give you up. And then she's
No,
like,
you
but
won't.
yeah, you
Everyone
won't.
knew that. There
Yeah,
wouldn't be
everyone,
a premises of the movie if he
Exactly.
gave her up. We're
Oh
all
my
like,
god, how great would that be if he did give her up, and then you're just like, oh man, that was not the fairy tale ending I
that
thought it was
was
gonna be.
not the way I saw that going at
So, okay, so after she gets this money, right? What's the first thing she do? She calls that loser Kit and everything.
Because
I
they
would
got to
have,
make rent.
yeah, which I'm all like, I would have just dropped her. But I did love how she called and she's all like, I can't remember what Julia Roberts said, but Kit's all like, Ma, and everything. And I was like, that's funny. You think that your mom calls you whatever.
Well, because she had the eye cover thing on that people wear, when she like is
Yeah.
answering the phone, and it was cracking me up the whole time.
Yeah.
Kit's role is very small, but it is very important.
Yeah. So, and then she's like, the guy, the DeLuca or whatever. And then she tells him that he's going to pay $3,000. And I love how she writes. She's like, I want you to take down the address. She's like, Beverly Wilshire Hotel. She's like, Bev, Will, Hotel.
On a pizza box.
On a pizza box with lipstick. And I'm all like, okay. I'm like, Kit, you drive me mental. And then I love when she goes up to the front desk to drop off the money and everything. And she's all like, I'm leaving this for Kit DeLuca. Don't open that. And I'm like, bitch, they don't open they're not just like searching through your mail.
Sweetie, this is a for real establishment.
Right.
This isn't a red roof or some bullshit. They don't rent by the hour here.
Right on. So, and then I do love how she goes, all right, so now we need to talk about, this is the famous scene where she goes into, this is before the famous shopping scene. This is the one where they're mean to her.
Right. So first of all, he gives her a shit ton of money. Like he just opens up this, like, it's not even a wallet. It's like a folder, a leather folder.
Yeah.
And he just tosses out thousands of dollars in cash and is like, go buy yourself some nice things because we're going to have events.
Yeah.
And it's so much money.
Yeah, right. And then she goes into that first store that she goes into.
Like, how nervous would you be? Like, she's a sex worker walking around with thousands of dollars. Like, I'm just a soccer mom or a hockey mom, whatever you want to call it. I have $100 in cash and I'm like sweating bullets. I'm like,
right on.
I have a debit card so I don't have to carry cash. Why am I carrying cash? Oh my God.
Right on. And I do. And you know what gets me is, I don't know why these hookers at the non-hooker hookers were.
The women that are real hookers, because they work on commission.
Yeah,
so they are hookers. Yeah. They're real hookers. The Kit and Vivian, they're sex workers. These women are hookers.
Yeah, because she's like, and I love how she's like, how much is this? I thought the dress was ugly, but it was the 90s, so whatever.
I was like, don't buy that.
Yeah.
Ew.
And I love how she's like, I don't think this would fit you. And she's like, I'm not asking if it fits. I'm asking how much it was. And she's all like, I don't remember the lady's name. She's like, how much is this? She's like, it's really expensive. And she's like, it's really expensive. And I'm like, what is this? A fucking Echo in here, hon? I was like, come on.
So have you ever gone to a store where something it costs way out of your budget and you look at the price tag and go, oh shit, so what? She asked how much it was. So tell her it's $600 or tell her it's $1,800. You know what she's going to do? She's either going to go, I'd like to try it on. I can afford it. Or she's going to do like me shopping for prom dresses with my daughter going, oh shit, this is a dress for one night. No, move away from the dress.
Yeah, so they're mean to her. And a small piece of me was like, oh, they're mean to you. Boo freaking who. And then she puts on, I love how she puts on that ugly red jacket of hers and just like goes back to the hotel. And then she gets.
I love the guy at the hotel, though. The concierge, the general manager, whatever he's.
Yeah, the general manager. He is nice to her. I do like him because he was all like, I'm pretty sure I won't see. And I love how she like hands him the big wad of money. She's like, I have all this money and I don't know how to spend it. And I'm all like,
and I love how he's super nice. And he's like, I take it after your uncle leaves the hotel. We won't see you in our hotel again because you don't have any other uncles. And I'm like, dude, we all know it's not her uncle.
yeah. She's dressed like a hooker. Come on, a prostitute. So, I also, so I love, and so then she finally goes to a store where the lady is nice to her. And
I'm going to assume it's like a Neiman Marcus or a Nordstrom's because they have an unmentionables counter.
Yeah, right on. Yeah. And I do like that she's like, I do like how she's all like, goes back to the hotel and she's like, oh, I got a cocktail dress. You want to see it? And he's like, no, I did. I thought you'd have it on. She's like, oh, no.
You've been wearing it.
Yes. And then she does go, and then she's like, can you help me? And then he helps her with the silverware, which I just want to be honest right now. he was explaining, I was like, bitch, I still don't know what you're talking about with the forks and everything. I would just grab one fork and be like, I'm using this the whole time. Please don't take it.
So I have a degree in food science. So
Gotcha.
that is the only reason that I
That's
know.
I love that that's a degree in food science. Get the hell out of here.
You
I haven't did food.
technically it's family and consumer sciences, but yes, with an emphasis in foods. But still, you're an asshole.
Food science.
You're such a dick.
That's not a thing. Okay. So all right, I have to ask you this. What did you think about her little cocktail dress? What did you think about it?
Oh, I thought it was cute. It was totally
Really?
80s cute.
Oh, I thought it was ugly. I didn't like it at all. I liked her hair though. I liked her hair.
I
thought
thought
her
it
hair
was
was cute.
super 80s, like late 80s, early 90s. Like I'm not even joking. Like that black lacy whatever it was material, because it wasn't lace, but it was to look like lace or whatever. It was very popular at my freshman homecoming.
Yeah, see, I just thought it looked like a black doily got cut up and made into a dress. Like I didn't like
Pretty
it.
much.
Yeah, I didn't like it. But I'm like, you know what? It's fine because I didn't have to wear it, so
It,
I don't
it
care.
fit the time. It was a very popular style.
Right on. So I liked the restaurant they went to with the
Have you had the escargot?
I have had escargot. I actually
Me
think it's
too.
still I think
thought
it's
it was
delicious.
delicious.
Oh yeah, for sure. But it's so funny. I've had it more than once, but I had it on my honeymoon because we had this like dinner. You can have a dinner by the ocean at sunset and everything, all that bullshit. And I had escargot. I can't remember as my appetizer, and I can't remember what my wife had. But I was just like, "Oh, you want to try some?" And she's like, "Absolutely not." And I was like,
I
"Oh
don't
no,
remember having to crack the shell. I remember
I
the
didn't."
opening of a shell. You just stuck your fork in
Yeah,
and
that's
pulled
what
it
that
out.
yeah, that's what I had the same thing. I didn't have to crack the shell. It was already opened for me. So I
Yeah.
maybe they just realized people were breaking them and everything and not
Because when it went flying across the room and the waiter, I'm like, girl, that would have been me. But my experience was not that way.
right on. And then I did also I just love I love this whole scene where they're eating because I love how I love when they brought the ice cream and she took the little like leaf off and she like bit it and then she was like eh.
Varnish.
Yeah, she's like it's not good, it's not good, and I'm all like that's so funny. Yeah, it's so good. And then I also did like when she ate it with her hands with the dude because she's all like, when's the salad? That's the only fork I could remember. And then I also did like when the old man was all like, we're gonna rip you apart or whatever he says. I liked that. I was like, all right, listen here, Matlock, you need to calm down, okay? I like you, but you're a little too spicy for your age, okay?
And I totally loved how his son was like, Vivian, it was a pleasure to meet you. Because he was only hitting on her because he knew it would piss Richard Gere off.
Right on. And he's all like, I'm gonna buy you once he's done with you. Okay,
Yep. He's like,
so
I'll find you. You and me,
yeah,
girl.
and I don't know how you feel, but when they got back to the penthouse, when she's on the balcony, he's like, I don't like heights, and she's like, no hands. I was watching this movie, I was freaking the fuck out when I was watching it. Like my legs got all numb and everything or tingly because I do not like heights. So when I see that shit, I'm all like, I am freaking out right now.
So I don't have a fear of heights. I have a fear of falling.
Oh,
Like,
that's a good point. Yeah.
yeah, like I can be up in like the Sears Tower or the Seattle Space Needle. That doesn't bother me because I'm inside a building and I can't fall. But you put me on like the Golden Gate Bridge. Like I made it out maybe a quarter of the way. The rest of my family's like, no, let's go to the middle. And I'm like looking over the railing going, that's a really long way down. I'll meet you guys at the gift shop when you're done. Yeah, and I
Right
could never
on.
do the Eiffel Tower because that's like an open air. Yeah, anything that I could fall because I fall going upstairs. I
All
walk down
right.
the sidewalk and trip
I
over my own feet. My daughter and I went to the beach for her spring break. I
Mhm.
tripped over air and the beach sand like ripped apart my foot and I had to have like the paramedics on the beach like bandage up my foot as if I like had just been, torn apart by a baby shark or some bullshit.
Right on.
So
Do. Anyways,
yeah.
so So I'm the opposite. I'm not, I'm afraid of falling and heights. So, okay. So I love how when she woke up, okay, she wakes up in the middle of the night, right?
He's gone.
He's gone. Yeah, yeah. And I love how the bellhop guy takes her down to the bar and he's all like, I don't know about you, but the bellhop guy, like I liked him, but he weirded me out at the same time. Like I'm all like, is it really that secretive that you took her down to the bar? I'm like, I don't like he's acting like he's like looking around and everything. And
Maybe Richard Gere's character said, don't tell anybody I'm in
that's
here.
a good point. That's a good point. So he's playing the piano, right? Doing a very good job, by the way. And she comes in, and I like how everybody leaves, and then he just like fucks her on the piano. Like I'm all like, oh yeah,
Were they in the bar or were they in like a banquet room?
Oh, either way, it's fine. They were in a banquet room, we'll say.
Because I thought they were like cleaning up like an event, and then all of a sudden, magically, everybody was like, "Oh shit!" Like he like did a little twitch of his hand behind his back, like shit's going down, get the fuck out.
Right on. But I did like how he's just like, can you please leave so I can bang this chick on your piano? And I was just like, ew, they need to clean that piano after that.
And that sounds very uncomfortable.
Right on. So, and then I love at the next day, he just gives her his credit card, and I'm all like, yo, dude, stop giving her your money. Like, Jesus.
Like, no.
Yeah,
they're mean to me.
I do like how they were like, she's like, they're mean to me. And then he took her to like a fun shop or whatnot. And I just really, really liked it. And I love how all these women just start bringing over clothes. They're just like throwing clothes at her and everything. I was like, I would like to go to a store where they just like had all these bitches bringing me clothes to wear.
Right. And the whole part where he's like, do you have anything in the store as beautiful as her? And first the guy was like, yes, we do. And then he was like, no, but we'll try.
Yeah, that's so funny. That's so funny. And
she likes the tie. So he makes the guy take off the manager makes the employee give her the tie because she likes the tie. It was an ugly tie.
Right on. Yeah. Now I have to be honest with you. So, I did not like the hats that they gave her, like the ones with this had to be like a 90s thing. It was like a black hat with like, it had almost like a cowboy hat, but it was like, it had a flat top, but it was like lower down. I don't know how to describe what it is. Anyways. Hat? Yeah, sure. We'll say a box hat. I didn't like it anyways, but she ended up buying it. It was gross. I also don't like
it for like,
I also don't like berets
and stuff.
No, not that one. Because actually, I actually like that one.
Oh.
I also don't like berets. And doesn't she wear a beret at some point in time? I don't freaking remember.
I don't know, but I don't like berets either.
Yeah, there was some outfits that I actually did like in this movie, this show. Like when she does go into that shop, I do like the hat and the outfit that she was wearing when she went back to the Mean Girls.
Yeah, the huge.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about that scene because I love this scene. Like, oh, you're getting your revenge at these bitches. And I love how she's all like, she's like, you work on commission, right? Yeah. You made a big mistake. Huge. And then she's like, I have to go shopping now. So,
which is great because that occurs in so many movies now, and it did happen in real life, like a similar situation around the same time this movie came out. The singer Selena went to LA, and she had kind of a similar situation like happen, not quite the same, but
I didn't know that, but I love Selena.
Oh, so much.
Yeah, so much. Okay. So, and I just love how George Costanza the whole time is like berating him about this bitch that he met. He's like, how do you know she's not a spy for, the old man and everything? And I'm all like, dude, calm it down. I'm like,
because the old man placed a woman on Ventura. Is that where he picked her up? Boulevard or wherever?
Yeah.
Just waiting, hoping and praying. He put a pretend hooker on every street going, if this guy in a fancy car comes by,
right. Get in. Yeah. And I do like how he went back to the hotel and she's wearing nothing but the tie that she bought him. That was, or he bought himself apparently.
Right.
And then they're giving. Okay. So then they're in the bath. Right. And she's like bathing him. Okay. Let me ask you this. Cause they do this in movies sometimes. Have you ever taken a bath with your husband and washed him or anything like that?
No.
Have you ever taken a bath with your husband?
I've
Me-
showered.
Yeah, I've never taken a bath.
Never
First off, we
but
need
I
to
don't
take
like baths.
baths are
Baths are
gross.
human stew.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's
Human
gross.
dirt stew.
That's exactly what it is. But I've never done that either. A shower, yes, because it can be sexy, you know what I'm saying? But let me just tell you right now, ladies, I promise you, if you take a shower with your husband, by the time you get out, your breasts will be gleaming, like gleaming.
It's
Okay.
way better. And again, I've never done a bath with my husband, or not even a bubble bath, because I'm not joking. If I did a bath, the minute the bath was done, I'd be like, I've got to shower all of your dirt off of me.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Because we just took a human stew
Yeah,
dirt.
it's
So yeah, I don't like that. That's just me personally, to each their own. But I get the whole appeal of a relaxing bath. That's one thing. I have taken relaxing baths, but the minute I get out, I go straight to the shower, because in my mind, I've just bathed in my own filth. So
yes, and okay. So I was very angry with him. I liked that line too.
yeah.
Okay, so then they go to that little, what's that game called where they're on the horses with the little polo?
Did
Okay,
we talk
Marco.
about when they go to the opera with the necklace? Is that
That's
after?
not yet. That's after.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but
I've
I do
never
want to. Oh my
keeping
god, I
score.
want to talk about that.
Okay,
because
we'll get to that.
girl, that necklace
But
was
I
the
love her
bomb.
outfit at the polo match. The polka
Oh, I
dot
like that one
dress
too.
with
Yeah,
the
it was
hat.
nice.
I'm like, girl, work
Girl,
it.
that outfit is amazing.
Amazing.
So okay, so I did. What did she say to those ladies when they asked how they met or whatever? I can't remember. It doesn't even matter. And I didn't write it down.
Yeah,
Okay.
I didn't write it down either. I mean,
yeah, I remember they because they give her that look like, oh no, she didn't. Okay, so I also liked it when he
go ahead.
No, you go.
No, you go.
Okay, I'll go. I do like it when he's like, well done. And then she's like, well done. So good.
Which was a huge thing in the early 90s.
Yeah, because what was that? Wasn't
Arsenio
that
Hall?
Arsenio Hall. Yeah. I did not watch too many episodes. I think I was too young for that.
So my favorite thing from the polo scene is when she meets the Seinfeld guy, Jason Alexander, whatever.
Yes,
his
George
wife,
Costanza.
and she goes, "You could freeze ice on her ass."
That's right. And then okay, so excuse me, long story short, he tells George Costanza that she's a prostitute, right?
Yeah, because he keeps harping on the how do you know she's not a spy, or she's not working for somebody else, an insider.
She's talking to the grandson because he was playing polo.
Yes, because the grandson seeks her out. I forgot about that. Yes, so George Costanza's all, how do you know, blah, blah. And so Richard Gere, like an asshole, says, because she's a prostitute.
Yeah. And then George Costanza like confronts her, and then he's like, maybe when he leaves town, maybe me and you. And she's like, yeah, sure, and everything. And I'm like, oh, that's really mean. I'm all like, don't be mean.
That's such a dick move.
Yeah, I thought that was meaner than the ladies at the shop. I was like, that's so mean. I was like,
oh, he's such a dick. Like, I mean, if she was looking at it from a street or a sex worker's point of view, this was an excellent business opportunity.
Yes, for sure.
But he's an ass, so nobody wants that opportunity. He's such a predator. He's the guy that thinks when his wife hires the nanny, she's negotiated blowjobs for him as well. I hate him.
Right. And I did like how she confronted him about in the hotel room, which I just want to say, the hotel room, the fact that the bedroom was pink really bothered me. But anyways, okay. So she tells him, she's like, why did you have me get all dressed up? And he's all like, because I want you to look all pretty and stuff. And she's like, you know, because if you got me all dressed up, but when people like George Costanza, I can't remember his name, the character's name, but she's like, well, at least when he confronts me, I could be wearing my own clothes, you know, and I'll be prepared for it. And then I do like,
totally makes sense.
It does make sense. And then I also like how right after that, I remember she was trying to open a bottle of Coke, Diet Coke. It was Diet Coke, and she couldn't do it. And I was like, oh, that's so funny, because my wife does that shit all the time.
But I was like, that totally makes sense, because when you're in like your work clothes, you know, customers can confront you or talk to you and you can handle it. But if someone sidelines you in a Target while you're with your kids, you're like, what? So I'm like, yeah, she's got a point. He's a dick.
Yeah, but I do like and then I do like when she's all like, I love how she's so flustered that she's all like, he's like, we have to get this out of the way. You are in fact a hooker and my employee. And she's like, you don't control my body. I decide who, I decide when, I decide who. And I was like, you said that already.
She
You said that
said
already.
who like 3 times.
Yeah.
I
And then,
decide
and,
who. I decide who.
yeah, and then he goes up, and then he's like, I said I was sorry. That's the end of it. And she's all like, I'm sorry I ever met you. And I was like, oh, don't say that, because you guys end up together in the end. So yeah, no, I liked their little fight because I thought it was fun. And then I like how she gets all her shit. And then she's like, I want my money. I want to get the hell out of here. And I was like, oh, don't leave yet. And I was like, come on.
He throws the full 3,000 on the bed, and she walks away from it.
Yeah.
Which I go, girl loves him, because girl who didn't love him would have snatched up all $3,000 and been out the door.
Yeah, right on, for sure. And then he does apologize at the elevator, and then of course they make love, because why not? I feel like that's what they do after every scene in here. They're just like making love.
Every time they have an argument, that's how they make it better.
Yes. So all right,
for those of you that aren't married, that only works to a certain extent. The argument doesn't go away. It just ends it for that moment. It will come back later.
Oh, it does for men. I mean, like if we're fucking, I'm totally forgot about everything. I'm fine.
No, it doesn't. Because a week later, you'll do the same behavior that causes the exact same argument. It doesn't cure everything. It just ends it at the moment.
I'm perfect. I don't know who the hell you think you're talking
to. We are assholes genetically, so I know you're not perfect. It's in our genetic DNA to be fucking assholes.
I'm wonderful. Okay, let's talk about the opera scene.
Asshole.
All right, you're an asshole. Okay. All right. So when before they go to the opera, when he opened that necklace, I was like, girl, you need to marry him. Like that.
Like, did he buy that, or is that because rich people can just like pay rent on necklaces, like loan it out, like take a lease on it like a car,
right?
They can just rent it, which is a whole different level of life to live from what I live.
Yeah, you're like, I'll rent this one. Okay, gotcha. Okay, so you probably heard this before. I'm just saying this. I don't know exactly how it goes, but when he snaps the box, I guess that was all improv, and her laugh was like genuine or whatnot. Okay, so I love that they go to the opera.
Yeah, it was supposed to be completely different, and she was supposed to have a line there or something, but because of the way she reacted, they ixnayed the line.
Right on. And okay, so what gets me is they fly a private jet to wherever they go to see this opera, and I was like,
I'm gonna assume New York.
I'm gonna assume New York
or San Francisco.
Well, right on. We'll just say New York though. It sounds much better. San Francisco.
That sounds way fancier.
Okay, so I as soon as I saw this, I was like, I want to be so rich that I can fly a private jet to New York for the night.
One time in my life,
an opera.
Just once.
Yeah, just once, exactly.
Just once. I want to say I flew from either from coast to coast, either east to west or west to east, whatever. One time, I just want to say I flew a private jet, because I feel like all these like uber rich people don't understand what it's like to be excited to get an upgrade, or to be in the, because when you board a plane, you have a designated zone and you have a seat, and your seat, like the further back you are, the more like cattle you are. They don't understand what it's like when you get like a seat closer to the rich people in first class, or you get upgraded to quote unquote business class, and you're super excited. Like,
right on.
One time in my life, I would love to have, what are they called? G50. Isn't that the song?
No, it's a G6. Isn't it a G6? Okay.
Either way, I would just once in my life.
So the opera ends and she's cried because it's so good.
Oh, my favorite line of the whole thing. Oh, it was so good. I almost peed my pants.
What?
And the old lady behind her. Yeah.
He said it was better than Pirates of Penzance. And I was like, that's not what she said. That's not what she said. But I'm all like, I guess so. And then
Pirates of Penzance is not good, but I don't like opera, so.
I don't like opera either. I mean, like, I'm not dissing on it. If you love it, by all means have it.
If you like it, that's your choice. Give me a good musical. I'm all there for it. Hamilton, Grease, Beetlejuice, whatever, or a play. Oh, therefore opera I can't get behind.
Yeah, right on. So they pop a squat in the park after that, and they go on all these super fun dates. I think they went to like a pizza shop or whatever, and they're falling in love, and they make love, of course, again. And then I think is it, and then he's about to leave and everything, and then they were having their last breakfast together or whatnot. And I can't remember, but Kit shows up. I can't remember what happens with the Kit situation, but she's there. Oh, I love how okay. So what was the point? Okay, so Kit's sitting there and there's some old people staring at her, and then she leans down and she goes like this to the counter. What was the point of that, Vetta? Explain, because I'm like old now. I still don't know what the point of that was. Do you know?
I think that I don't know for sure, but in my mind, I go, is that like a blowjob reference?
Oh, maybe that is.
Like she's telling the old guy she'll
I mean, I guess
know.
so. I was just like,
that was the best I could come up with, because I thought the same thing, and I contemplated it for a bit, and that was all I could come up with.
No, maybe you're right, because then she does say something like $50 and $50 for like grandpa, and the like 75 and the grandma can watch. And I was like, ew.
Yeah, that was all I could come up with, and I went, that's pretty cheap. $75, dude. You might want to take her up on that.
Yeah, $50. Hello, hey, how you doing?
Right?
Like,
I mean, slip her a card and be like, call me, girl.
Yeah, right, girl. Okay, so then they decide that they're going. Him and the old man decide that he's not going to buy his company and sell it off bit by bit. He's going to work with him.
They're going to be partners.
They're going to be partners, which I just go
because of her.
Yeah, because of her. And then so like, okay, so then George Costanza goes to the hotel, and he attacks her. Like he's ready to. He like is about to grape her. And Richard Gere comes in, and I'm all like, good for you, Richard Gere. I love how he punches him, and he's like, I'm bleeding. And I'm like, yeah, that's what happens when you get punched in the face. Have you ever been punched in the face, by the way?
Have.
Me too. Isn't it the fucking worst?
I have been in quite a few fights for being a little pint-sized person like I am. I mean, I'm a little thicker, but I'm very short. I'm only 4'10" and a half. I feel like in my life, I had to defend myself quite a bit. You were at one of my fights.
Was I? I don't remember.
It was after school. I had picked you up from school. Huh?
Did you win?
I did.
Good for you. Good for you. I was too little. People that
yeah, you were in elementary school. You were in I was just like in 6th or 7th grade, so you had to be in like 2nd or 3rd.
Yeah, I mean, that's way too far back. I don't remember.
Yeah, all 3 of my brothers were there. They all see. The best part was that like my friends were like more than willing to fight for me. They were like, I'll take this bitch on. And I was like,
so funny. Right on. I remember, what was Bobby something?
Bobby. Yeah, Bobby works. Bobby lives near mom and dad.
Oh, right on. Yeah, I remember her. She was always
I loved her so much. I keep saying I'm going to get together with her, but I never have time when we're in town.
Right on. Okay, no more memoirs of Vetta. Okay.
Oh, sorry, guys. I've been drinking.
Okay, it's okay. Yeah. Okay, we need to wrap this sucker up. Okay, yeah, so finally she's going to move out from Kit. She made the right decision because Kit's a bad influence.
Yep.
And she's no more hooked. She's not hooking anymore because $3,000 changed her life.
And depending on the life you have, it could.
Yeah. So then he finally he decides he loves her, and he takes the limo.
He's giving her the fairy tale.
Yeah. He takes the limo and he gets over to her apartment. And he's climbing up the thing because he rides in on a white.
Scared of heights.
Yeah.
But so that's what she needs. That's the fairy tale.
That's what she needs, right? And he's climbing up the fire escape, which I'm all like, how safe are those? I mean, I've never been on one before.
I've seen quite a few movies where those don't end well.
Yeah, right.
Jurassic Park. The guy's trying to climb up a fire escape, and it hitches and drops him down, and he almost gets eaten. What's that other movie? Final Destination.
Yeah, don't ask me. I don't remember any of these.
Final Destination, the guy is climbing down a fire escape and it won't, and then he slips and falls and the fire escape the ladder
Right.
falls on his
Okay.
face.
So he gets up there and he's like, and I remember the music is so loud at this point.
So loud.
And he goes, so what happened? This is my least favorite part of the movie, the very end of it. And he goes, so what happened after the prince climbed the tower to save the princess? And then she goes, she rescues him right back. And I'm like, oh, get the fuck out of here.
And then
Julia
2 seconds
Roberts.
later, my favorite part of the movie, it's the same guy from the beginning of the movie or semi-beginning. It's like, welcome to Hollywood.
Oh yeah,
What's your dream?
Yeah,
Everybody's got a dream.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes.
That's very true. I do like him. This is Hollywood. Okay.
What's your dream?
Yeah, keep on dreaming. I did like him. Okay. Is there anything else about this movie you want to say?
No. Other
okay.
than if you don't like this, you're un-American. Move away now.
You're weird if you don't like this. Okay.
Right.
Let's move over to our question section of this program. What is your question for this movie?
So my question is, out of all the Julia Roberts movies, and she's been in a lot,
yes,
who is your favorite love interest?
Okay, so they've been in 2 that I think I can think of off the top. I just wrote Ocean's 11, aka George Clooney. I was like, yeah, I guess I was like,
I put Ticket to Paradise.
Oh, see, I was gonna say that too because I did like that movie with them.
I thought they were it was a way better love interest because they'd already been married and they're divorced.
True.
And in Ocean's 11, they weren't. It's a little bit different, but I liked the couple better in Ticket to Paradise.
Well, but it was just George Clooney. I was like, George Clooney, yes,
absolutely.
Please.
I mean, I did contemplate Owen Wilson in Wonder because they were really good.
They were, but he's not hot. Owen Wilson's not hot. Come on.
His nose is just weird. That whole family. They need to have that fix. I love them.
Yeah.
They're adorable. They're cutie patooties, but they can't move past cutie patooties to hot until they have that nose fix.
Gotcha. Right on. But I did. Question? Okay, so my question for you is, who is your favorite movie prostitute?
So my favorite movie, Sex Worker.
Whatever.
Lena from Risky Business.
You asshole, that's my favorite prostitute. That's my favorite. Oh, listen, I have to be honest with you. Okay, so as a young child, when I saw these movies, back then we didn't have Pornhub, but I would jerk off to these movies. Like
you had to watch Showtime or Skinamax, as it was called.
Yeah, at like 1 o'clock in the morning.
Even exist anymore?
But I don't think so. But movies like this,
it wasn't Cinemax when I was a kid. Everyone called it Skinamax.
Yeah, exactly.
It was the soft porn site.
Yeah, and so like movies like this, where you had this sex scene that wasn't even kind of raunchy, but it was
movie was their bread and butter.
Yeah, exactly. So I was just like jerking off to these movies left and right, but. Lana from it was played by Rebecca De Mornay. From Risky Business. That was my favorite. Yeah.
I loved her so much, and I love the fact that he's like a 17 or 18-year-old kid, and she's like in her 20s.
Yeah,
and like he's checked off so many off of the like boy bucket list of sexual encounters, like older woman,
right?
Sex worker, so much shit robs you.
I never understood that whole crystal egg thing. I was like, how can that be worth anything? I was like, it just looks like a glass egg, but whatever. What do I know?
It's not a Fabergé egg.
Yeah,
I don't understand. It's just like you could go to Spencer's and get the light up egg.
Right on. Okay. Last question. Would you recommend this movie to everybody?
Oh, absolutely. Again, I'm going to go with, if you don't like this movie, go away. I can't deal with you.
Yeah, I agree. I loved this movie. All right, you guys, we're going to wrap it up. All right, you guys, thank you so much for listening to us and our nonsense. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at BSDrunkPod to stay updated. And if you listen to us on Apple Podcast or Spotify, please leave us a 5-star review. We would really appreciate it, and it helps us out a whole bunch. We'll also be posting the video version of this to our YouTube channel, so be sure to subscribe to us there. And we are on YouTube at BS Drunk Movie Reviews. Also, we have started a Patreon. And we have plenty of different levels to suit any of you that are interested. And the link for that will be in the description down below. And please, you guys, the most important thing, don't forget to drink, recap, review, and repeat. Bye, you guys.
Bye, guys.